Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. So, first off, I might have a coughing fit because I got a cold or something. Anyways, sending you guys out so much blessings, and hopefully everybody else out there is feeling fabulous and feeling well today. I know I've been sick this week. I think everybody at my work is sick, it seems, and a lot of chest congestion and all of that kind of stuff. So um, I'm faring fairly well. So one of the things I do use, and just to let people know, it's called antiviral, and this is echinacea. I don't get paid for doing this, but it's by Natural Factors. I met the guy who made this and who founded this, and it's from a echinacea plant. Like he was in California, and he was exploring different gardens in California, and he this one lady had this unique echinacea plant, and he asked if he could have the seeds, and he did. So he put the seeds in his pocket and brought them back. And he outside of Kelowna, BC, he really took care of the seeds and everything else, and did his little scientific stuff on it. Anyways, out of the strands of this echinacea plant, he was only allowed to use 3 out of the 4, according with Health Canada, and because it is very strong. And he said that with the 4 strands, this was his quote, that he could have, the viral thing would have able to help AIDS, and that's with the echinacea plant. But it tastes like shit. It's a bad bourbon. It tastes bad. I take it straight up. I just take a few drops, and I just put it under my tongue. And down the hatch it goes. And I do this several hours during the day as I'm doing it. So anyways, that's what I take, the echinacea. I have Buckley's. I do Buckley's as well. And then I have Energy C that I've been taking. So that's what I take, along with some Tylenol and stuff for aches and pains. But it seems to combat it pretty good. So anyways, need a swig of coffee with that one, baby. So let's look at what's going on. This week has been very tense, and I know a lot of people have been feeling a lot of the tension, a lot of the energies that have been going on, and it's feeling very heavy. There is so much, with the sun at the end of Scorpio, we've seen this FTX. It's all over the news with the cryptocurrency and how, many people like Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal and stuff are going to be going through a lawsuit with this. The founders of this FTX are now in the Bahamas, conveniently. But it seemed like this, and I found it funny because of Scorpio rules joint finances and things to do with joint finances and stuff. So with it coming to the end, and it's going to be going into Sagittarius on Tuesday, and then we got the full moon or the new moon on Wednesday at 1 degree. That's the other thing that I found interesting too. We'll get into that in a minute. But it was almost like it was a scam to regulate cryptocurrency, and that's what they're saying. So that's some of the energies that are out there. So we're seeing a lot of things to do with finances, a lot of changes coming up with finances. I just read a tweet from our lovely, our very handsome and very well-bred prime minister who, what was he just saying on Twitter? Probably can't find his tweet again. and this was 14 hours ago, and he says even though the Conservative Party voted against, the parents across the countries will get the support they need to take their kids to the dentist. So, and nearly 2 million renters will get a one-time top-up of $500, and we'll keep working to make, so, I mean, he's buying off the Canadian people, but buying them off how? I mean, we're heading into such a deep recession. It's crazy. For instance, flour right now is on sale for a great big bag for like between $17.99 and $19.99. That same bag just a few months ago was regular, like $14.99. Like, it wasn't. The thing is that prices are going up substantially, and even the girls in Price Changing are saying, holy shit, these prices are going up. And I was talking to the manager and even the GM for the Save on Foods and asking them about this. I said, I'm just curious, with all the price increase. And he says, well, we're not making any more money. We're just having to cover the cost of bringing the items in. And the cost has to do with the fuel costs, the shipping costs, and all of that are coming to bring the items in. And that's the whole, when companies can't continue on, you're going to see a lot of companies going under. Now, one of the biggest companies, and I think it's the second largest retail chain in the United States, is Target. Target has their sales are lower than what they were before COVID. So we're starting to see that now with that moon or that sun in Scorpio. We're going to start seeing more and more of this. Like, this is coming in, like, it's especially at the end of it, and then as it goes into Sagittarius, it's going to sort of start getting laid out. Who's going to be held accountable for the things? Who's going to be held for responsible for all of this going on? And with companies like Target are having to redo their stores and how they lay their stores out. Now we're going to be starting to see that the same in Walmart. So Walmart is also, their stocks have gone down as well. Now these are places that usually do fairly well, and especially during a recession or a depression. We're going into a depression, by the way, people. We are deep into one of the greatest recessions that we've ever seen within 100 years, and a depression that we've seen within 100 years. And it's going to hit hard. And this hitting hard means that we really have to stay firm and stay steady with what we're doing. Now, this explosion that's happening right now and the tension that's happening, and especially with Mars squaring Neptune, that's crazy. That's it means it's crazy. It's unsure, no direction, power, leadership, neurotic. You start to feel all of this energy and this tension. And with Mars retrograding in Gemini, I mean, we want answers, we want clarity, and it's squaring Neptune. We're not going to get the full clarity that we want. We're going to be feeling very disillusioned, very out of sorts, and not being able to ground the way that we want to ground. Because Neptune wants us to put our trust in God. That's what Neptune does. Neptune goes, okay, sure, you want to be disillusioned. You want to go down this road and feel out of sorts, or you want to take that last drink or push the drugs and the alcohol even further. Okay, we'll let you. I mean those are the choices that come in, right? But Neptune is also saying, we are at these last degrees. We are there. You got to know that the angels and God and the goddesses are there. And I'm going to say the God is there because Neptune is masculine energy. So God is there to lead us. God is there because God is the protector. God is the leader that is wanting to come in to take us. And we have to trust in our intuition with that guidance. But yet our ego is getting beaten down with all of this energy, because logically we're thinking, well, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is how it's supposed to be done. And they're saying, no, that's your ego is the illusion. Your ego has to come in alignment with spirit. Your ego has to know that spirit has to lead the way. And the ego works for the spirit, not the spirit working for ego. So we want to have logic, because in a world that seems scattered, a world that seems out of sorts, and that we're not being able to find that grounding, we get disillusioned, and we get worried, and we get frustrated, because we are wanting, answers. We want to have factuals. We want to have tangibles, right? Yet this is Piscean. This is water energy that's coming in, and then we're going to be going into, and with Scorpio, and then going into Sagittarius with this fire. It's not really, there's not that tangible. It's not like hard, where Taurus is. Like, I want the concrete, but he has Uranus in there, and Uranus is still retrograde, and Uranus being retrograde within there is saying, okay, you want something that's tangible. I'm restructuring the whole foundation of what you stand on, and making it something greater for you. So we are in this spot of like looking at the craziness that is falling apart within the world around us. And this is where we have to really, come into our connections. And with this moon is coming into a beautiful sextile, with Mercury and Venus. And they're not fully conjunct until the new moon on Wednesday. So it's that feel-good connection, finding what's feeling good, finding what we can really connect to is really important in everything that is going crazy around us. And this, even with the sun is trining over to Jupiter. Jupiter is stationary. Now, when a planet goes stationary, especially a big planet, we're just like, let's get the hell out of here. We got to finish all of this stuff up. We got to get, it's that anxiety type of energy that comes in. So it's really coming in and really hitting hard, especially with Jupiter, because Jupiter is the expansion that wants to make everything good, right? So we're finding this, that we have to come into the energy of feeling the fluid, feeling the positivity. It's very important for us not to push too far. Don't push too far. This is where it's like, okay, we got to, come back to one step at a time. And I was talking to a few of my prepper friends who are like big prepper, like they've right into it. And they said, you know what, if you're really, the thing is that we always tell people, rice and beans in Marlar bags. Just start with that. Start with the basics. Some you get freaked out by all of the dried. You can dry your food, you can smoke your food, you can do he goes that's later on. That's when you really got everything all together. He goes, but right now people have to understand rice and beans in Marlar bags. That's what they got to understand. Stocking up on the canned goods, stocking up on, if you've done your pickling, if you've done all of that, that's the important things that people have to look at. And doing the basic steps. Now, I've been telling people for I don't know how long that you have to start stocking up. Now we're starting to, feel that real push on everything. And when Mercury and Venus coming together, when they come together, there is this a lot of positive energy that comes in with this, but there's also we don't want to push too far. We don't want to overextend ourselves or say to ourselves, oh yeah, things are really good, let's just go out and party. And we might get that feeling like, oh, okay, everything's going to be okay. No, it's still that you got to have that very conservative one step in front of the other, making sure that you're not overextending yourself and you're staying in that positive light. So this is very important, especially as we're coming into and going into December, and as we are going into the new year 2023, in doing this. So this is where we're not going to be overbeating ourselves and feeling lost and going down like a muddy, slippery slope, because that could be feeling very overwhelming, very muddy, and staying on the trail. Because things are going to be feeling very slippery right now. and very overwhelming. If you hear the dog in the background, my husband's just coming in, and the dog and my husband are buddy. So because Steve's home all day, and so the dog is very connected to my husband, which is fine with me. um, so we have this, we want to come into this good energy balance and be good with our communication and with our spiritual connection. I mean, we are surviving. We're here. We're still doing what we need to be doing. We're still doing the one step in front of the other, and that's exactly what we need to be doing. We can't do anything more. When I look at a lot of things that are going on and stuff, things like the social programmings and stuff like that. I mean, here in Canada, they're going to try and top things up and make things look all beautiful but there's got to be cuts. I mean, I was just listening to about a program in the States where they want to, household increase debts more than 20 years ago. I mean, people are using credit card more than they've ever used credit cards before. The lowest in savings accounts. And now they're talking about in certain areas that they want to have zero down for buying a house. And it's crazy. It's crazy because sure, it's zero down, but the payments that the people will have to make, can they do it? Can they, with the interest rates that are going up? So it's just almost where there's a setup, just like that FTX, like a setup to get everything to crash so they can go back down to zero. Like they just like, oh, well, we just got to reset everything. So fuck the $30 trillion debt, which is like, and this is where you're going to start seeing, especially when as Jupiter goes forward, we're going to see a lot of expansion or a lot of explosions when it comes to things that have been overexpanded or trying to overexpand. And even with Neptune, which will be coming direct as well in December. So we're heading into some crazy waters again, especially when it comes to like the financials and when it comes to things to do with our own selves. But it's very, 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 very important to really take care of our physical health, take care of our mental health. And if we are feeling overwhelmed or stressed out, to making sure that we are getting the help that we need, talking about it to people, reaching out to family, friends, or even professionals, so that you are able to get the guidance that you need with all of the excess energies that are coming in right now and the changes that are coming forth. You have to really realize that you're all survivors. Like, we are all surviving this. And some days are absolutely fabulous and other days feel like crud, with this going forward. And there's such a push for control in so many ways that it's that we really have to trust our instincts. We really have to trust our spiritual guidance. We have to know that the angels are there even more than they ever have been, here to help us and guide us in the directions that we need to go forth. Calling forth, Mars is going to be conjunct Aldebaran, and calling in Archangel Michael is going to be such a powerful event for us to be doing each and every day, because he's here to help, to guide us, to protect us, because it is a spiritual war that's coming forward. It is a war that, a war of the gods coming in. This is like the big titans are rising, and we have to know that with this, and staying within our light and staying within our grounding and trusting our intuition, that we're heading into the directions that we need to be heading into, even though things feel cruddy at this time. And I have my water. And my coffee. So before I go into a coughing fit, I'm going to leave you with all of that. I know we feel out of sync with a lot of things, and I feel a lot of people are feeling that. So that's why with getting 2 mini readings a month, my early bird special, 24 mini readings. That means you get a reading from me twice a month for the whole year of 2023 for $450. That's like $18 a reading. And it's with the new moon and full moon. There are payment plans with that. I have people that can do half and half. I have people that are, can I put $50 down and can I pay you this, this, and this, you know? As long as I know your payment plan, I'm fine. That's the whole thing. As long as I know your payment plan, I'm pretty flexible on any payment plan. But to get 24 mini readings for the whole year I think will really help in guidance. And I send it straight to you. And then if you have any questions or anything like that, you can, definitely, they always come back and say, hey, what was this about? I don't understand this. And we can talk about it in detail. And there's no extra cost for that. So just to help people out throughout 2023, because 2023, I mean, we're really going to be feeling the inflation. We're really going to be feeling the constraints that are going to be coming down upon the world. And I know a lot of people don't like to talk about this. They don't want to look at this. They really want to turn a blind eye to it. But I talk about it because I want to bring it out. I want people to have an understanding that, yes, this is going on, but also look at that there's this strong spiritual energy that's coming in that we really have to cling to. And this is coming into our faith. And, when you think about throughout time, I mean, humanity, we've gone through a lot. And we, as a snippet in history, our little footprint in history right now, we've never had to go through anything as harsh as this. So we have to know that through our ancestors, that we have the power, that we have this greatness that is inside of us to move forward. It is the 6 of wands. No, it's the 6 of swords. Thank you. The 6 of swords, we're going to be coming out of the turbulent water, and we have to trust in the new direction that we're being headed towards. We may not know exactly where that is, but we have to trust in the guidance of our God that this is what's happening, and this is where we're heading. And the planets are showing us there is something greater that's coming in. There's something more that's coming forward for us, but it is in our preparation and our planning that is going to help us to get through this all. And that's going to be the most important thing with this. So there is beauty and blessings all around us. And you have to look for those beauty and blessings. You have to look for them. You have to turn around and say, hey, oh my God, it looks beautiful that the sun is coming through the window at this time. Oh my God, I can feel the sun, feel the sun upon my face. That is such a blessing. These are the blessings, sun gazing is such a powerful, powerful energy. And sun gazing is something that, taking that moment and allowing for the sun to, feel upon your face. For years, I used to take the LRT, and in the dead of winter. And sometimes, you're just waiting for the LRT to come. And what I would do is that I would find a spot on the platform where the sun was hitting, and I would just face the sun. And even when it was like freaking cold, feeling that sun upon the face was so energizing. And that's part of the guidance. Feeling that energizing pulsation of the sun coming forth. And this is where, with the energies that we're feeling, the turning of events that are going on. And this is yet, we got to come from the blessings, and we got to come from that spiritual nature of the soul. And I know a lot of people are saying like this is the dark night of the soul, and it really feels like the dark night of the soul. But within that dark night of the soul, we have to trust in the guidance that is coming to us. We have to trust that we are being led to something better. And here's the hard part is that the guidance is guiding us so that we can guide others. And we may not see all the beauty that is going to come from all of this in this lifetime for some of us, but that we're laying a trail for that of our next generation and the generation after and the generation after. So we're really heading into a new trail and being a trailblazer, but sometimes we don't see everything for our own selves. And that's a hard one for a lot of people because they want instant gratification for themselves. And this isn't about instant gratification all the time for yourselves, but it's for those around you and for those who are yet to come. And those are part of the blessings that are being laid for the seeds of the new earth. So we're seeing a lot. I could get into a lot of the financials because the financials are pretty crazy right now. But I'm not a financial advisor. I don't advise you on finances. I just look at what the planets are doing, and then I look at what the market's doing. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's right in line. A lot of disruptions. Remember, I've been saying for the last few years, look at where Uranus is. Uranus is at the same spot as what it was during the 30s, and also doing, a lot of the transits of what it was doing in 1942. So we're entering into a time of great transformation and change. And entering into that transformation and change is getting us to really look at what's important in your life. What is the important things in your life? Your family, your friends, your soul connections, your community that you work with, and how to connect with all of that. That's where this is all coming to. Pluto's showing you the disruption and exposing, the governments in all levels. Every single day we're getting exposures of it. And even with Ontario and the Minister of Health coming in and trying to push the masks and close the schools and all of this, people are like, what the hell? This is wrong. There are a lot of people standing up and say, no, this is wrong. When you hear the Prime Minister of New Zealand saying that only the government has truth. What? Only the government has truth? Huh. They're missing out on the word of God. They're missing out on the word of the gods. The gods have the truth, not the government. I watched a program with the Amish a while ago, and he said, the one thing is that one of the reasons why we don't vote is because they change every 4 years, but God never changes. We put our faith in God, not in the government. And that's where this is where the change has to come. Where are you putting your faith in? Are you putting your faith in the government? Are you putting your faith in the banks? Because are you putting your faith in science, in Fauci science? This is where it's unfolding for you. It's showing you that this isn't the truth. Science has failure. You have to have fails in science, right? You have to have test trials in science. That's what science is all about. It's all about failing to find, okay, this didn't work. Well, what about this? What about this? What about this? It's about questioning. That's what science is. It's about questioning. It's about theories. It changes all the time, right? And it's not just listening to one person, but it's listening to several, right? But yet coming back to the faith of God and knowing that God knows the direction of where you need to be stepping into is the most important thing. And the more we start to do it, the more we start to step into that faith and we start stepping into that direction, you're going to feel a lot more settled in the craziness and the disruption of the world around you. And even knowing that, oh my God, bank account looks like shit today, right? but knowing that you have the roof over your head, you have some good friends, you have connection. So making those connections, those are going to be very important. Having a plan on how you can connect with people around you is going to be very important. If the shit hits the fan. Do you have a plan on how to get a hold of people around you if something happens? These are very important things for all of us to start looking at. And this is where it's like, again, we give the divine gives the tools. Here are the tools. What are you doing with the tools? What are you doing with it? Right? The planets are showing you a direction. What are you doing with that direction? Are you hiding away? Are you just putting your head in the sand and saying, oh, everything is going to be okay, and oh, I'm going to put my faith in the government. They're going to give me $500 top up for my rent. La-di-da. That's what that is. That's a la-di-da. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you know what? I think that there's got to be something better that needs to come out. And that has to do with like, okay, $500, yet grocery prices and everything have gone up over 35%. Gas, even though, gas is sort of topped right, it sort of went topped and now you're seeing a drop in the gas. You're going to be seeing that, but then it's just all of a sudden it's like, oh, just wait. You see that low is just something, you know something crazy is going to happen from there. Right? So you're going to, this is where it's like, okay, I'm going to trust. I got to trust in my divine. This is what I need to do. Okay, my divine's saying I need to get rice and beans in Marlowe bags. Okay, that's what I'm going to go get. Rice and beans in Marlowe bags. Oh, okay, I need to get some kind of walkie-talkie in case I need to get a hold of my kids or something. I need to get up a backup batteries for things. Okay, I'm going to go get some backup batteries. Some people don't think that's spiritual. They think, oh, that's not spiritual. Yes, it is spiritual. To be prepared is spiritual. That's part of preparation. The divine wants you to be prepared. Right? Preparing yourself is the utmost of being within your spiritual alignment. So, it's not going around and heading into fear, but it's saying, yeah, you know what, I'm having a foundation. Even when we've gone through all of this mutable energy lately, and it's been feeling out of whack, especially this week, and we're heading into a new moon that is at 1 degree. And the thing is that the next 6 moons, I believe, are at 1 degree of the sign. That's new beginning. That's like, at 1 degree and 29 degrees, of a sign, that's power. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of reconnection. There's a lot of newness that comes in with it. And it's a world point. It comes in that there's something within the world of newness that's coming in. And it's Sagittarius. Sagittarius is that of the sign of accountability. It is the jury. So the jury's coming in. What is that accountability that has to happen? So there's some accountability that's going to be happening over the next several weeks. We're going to start, as we're coming out of this eclipsy energy, right? But we may not see it fully for another 6 to 7 months. So we're just going to, little tidbits are going to start entering into it. So there you go. So anyways, I'm going to send you guys out with so much love. I got to get another cup of coffee. And then I do work today. And tomorrow's my husband's birthday. So Steve's birthday is tomorrow. So we're going to be having a little family thing here. And it'll be quite nice. So he likes Chinese food. So we're going to have a little family gathering tomorrow for him. And blessings that he is still here with us, and sending, loads of love there out to my husband, and sending loads of love out to you guys, right? So sending you guys out lots of love. If you're interested in the mini moon readings, definitely let me know. and I'll put you down on the list. I'm only doing a total of, I think, 6 of them, or 6 to 8 of them, depending. So, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing like 24 mini readings. So that's only a limited supply, just an FYI for you guys, a limited supply. And the sale ends on the 26th. And then after that, starting January 1st, from $25, if you are wanting just to get a mini reading, the mini readings are going to be $30. So they're going to be going up $5. So coming into the new year. So if you're interested. So right now, with this, they're like 18, I think, something like that, $18. So it's a good savings, I think. Anyways, and you get to see me twice a month. This beautiful face, yes. So have a blessed one, everybody, and hopefully we're going to try and get on tomorrow afternoon. All right, blessed be.